What's up, dude? How you doing?
Dude, what is up? Super excited to be here, man. I just totally realized one of the clips was misplaced in that intro, so I apologize for that. But
What, the one with the cat at the end?
Yeah, the one with the cat at the end, man.
Oh, I thought it actually worked kind of good. I was gonna say I like it.
Yeah, I did that on purpose just to change things up, Dylan. Yeah,
I thought it worked good. It was a good little ending placeholder. I know it won't be there always, but I thought it was cool for this one at least. But if you didn't see from the title, tonight we are here to review George Romero and Dario Argento's Two Evil Eyes, a little anthology from them. So I know Robbie's a big Romero and Argento fan, so it'll definitely be at least a good discussion. And sorry, bro, I accidentally clicked you in, but I was
could have been naked, man. Oh, thank God. What up? What's going on, guys? Stoked to be here.
Not much, bro. But yeah, bro, I know Robbie should be excited to at least discuss the Argento film. I think it's been a while, man.
Totally am. Super pumped to talk about this one, guys.
Yeah. But we got some good stuff coming up this March too, so we also got Link up in the house. What's up, bro?
What up, fellas?
We got Scarphead, bro. What's up, man?
Sorry, man. I was strangling the fucking cat. So sorry. Let's go.
Harvey Keitel, bro.
That was brutal, man.
Yeah.
Don't kill my pussies, man.
Yeah, dude. It's I got major Saw vibes from like the opening of Argento's film, but let me think before we get into Two Evil Eyes. Any horror news, bro? Anything you got this week, Robbie?
Well, okay, let's see. DC just announced their summer event, written by Josh Williamson, with artwork by like Howard Porter, Chris Picciolo, Gilliam March, and it's going to be called Night Terrors. And it's basically Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman show up at the Hall of Justice. One of their oldest enemies is there dead. It leads them to a realm beyond death, to the realm of nightmares, and each hero is going to have to confront nightmarish, horrific versions of themselves. And Josh Williamson says this is one of DC's, or he said that this is definitely a horror-themed event for DC. And that could be cool because Josh Williamson knows horror movies and he's got some good taste. So I'm excited to see what happens there.
I do like me some Joshua Williamson. I guess we got Welcome to Derry, that Pennywise prequel series, got officially ordered to HBO Max, which I thought that's been a thing.
So did I.
Now
Yeah.
it's official. I thought it'd already been official. I was waiting. I thought they were just working on getting the scripts and, but that's good to know. At least it's official. Then I guess maybe with all the, drama behind the scenes, maybe it was like
Tied up.
in the loop for a minute. But looks like Russell Crowe has some movie called The Pope's Exorcist coming out. I didn't even watch the trailer, but it's from Sony, so we'll see. We'll see.
Scarphead said the other day it was from the director of The Overlord, so that
Yes.
was.
Oh,
pretty
that's the
cool.
one? Okay,
Yeah.
well maybe it'll be cool. I mean, I do enjoy Russell Crowe for sure, but I see he's doing like an accent in it, so it's gonna be hit or miss.
Yeah, he's
you know
doing
what
a
I mean?
Zeus accent.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
He's an Italian pope.
CGI
You
heavy.
realize that Russell Crowe's Australian, so in
Right.
most movies you see him in, he's doing an accent.
An American accent.
Body of Lies accent.
I guess, but this one's like you'd have to watch the trailer. But
And he's doing like a
It was
Tom
pretty dope.
Hardy
we got
type accent.
Fable in the house.
H, my brother. Sorry I'm late. My bad.
Oh, you're good, bro. But yeah, no, I'll definitely check it out. Let's see. I think we also got. They said the Walking Dead production underway on the Rick Grimes and Michonne event series.
Never gonna
I
happen.
know Scarpad's excited for that.
Not
You
really.
got M. Night Shyamalan's Knock at the Cabin went to digital this week, so you can check that
Wow.
out. And
2 weeks.
Megan's
bro.
unrated on Peacock.
Oh,
yeah,
snap!
Megan
Yeah.
unrated
Yeah,
on
Megan.
Peacock, which I hear is like they throw like a couple F-bombs in the movie and then they linger
Probably.
on a couple of those kill scenes a little more. So I'll have to check it out. But the big thing I'd say is 2 weeks for Scream 6, man. I'm super fucking hyped, bro. I'm so hyped. I'll probably try to even get one of them damn popcorn buckets.
Yeah.
Ghostface popcorn buckets if I can.
Oh, come on. Cocaine Bear opened this weekend and you just glossed right over it.
Of course, I'm glossing over it over freaking.
That might take,
Even though a lot of people are saying that's really fun, so you could go check that out. A lot
I'm
of
going to
people
blow
saying
a bunch of
super fun.
cocaine and then go see it.
Hell
Should be
yeah.
interesting.
And it might be one of Ray Liotta's last movies. He might
It
have
is
a couple.
his last movie.
I saw in his thing that he had like 2 like upcoming films, but I don't know.
I think it's the last one he filmed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
First
I tell you something
yeah, I
else
didn't know
worth
if one
pointing
of those
out.
2 in production were already filmed yet.
That
But,
thing that Scarp had put in the horror group, man, with Cinemark Theaters doing the slasher into spring, which I wish I could go to. They got Texas Chainsaw, Halloween, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Child's Play, back to back 5 nights in a row starting March. So that'd be badass.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
I might try to go see at least one of them.
I'm
thinking
thinking that
Nightmare
I
on Elm
almost
Street,
would
maybe.
rather see at the drive-in, to be honest. Like going to see
Wow.
old movies at the drive-in, I kind of like better.
Right.
To be
But
driving.
I would definitely check it out. It would still be fun no matter what. But the drive-in, I have a drive-in like 20 minutes away from me, 2025. But every now and then, especially during COVID, they were playing a lot of old movies. And like the one year on Halloween, I saw like Halloween 1 and 2, and that
That's
was just
awesome.
like iconic as fuck to me. But
Well, this summer in the Scarpad yard, I have a couple projectors they'll be setting up under my carport, making a little outdoor screening area. So you guys are welcome to come down to the Scarpad Dusk to Dawn Cinema coming this year.
Nice. Oh yeah.
It's awesome.
yeah, nice. But yeah, I guess that's what we got for horror news this week. So we'll get into the movie that we're here to review tonight. Like I said, 2 Evil Eyes. Man, I know Robbie, like I said, is a huge Romero and Argento fan, but yeah, I was watching some behind the scenes. One cool thing about this that didn't happen is, you ever hear, Robbie, that they originally wanted it to be kind of like more like it was going to be like 4 short stories, and they wanted like Carpenter to come do one, and I think they even said Stephen King maybe, but he probably was like,
Wow.
after Maximum Overdrive, he's like, I'm done directing.
No more directing for me, buddy.
Yeah, but
I quit the cocaine.
It's not
Yeah.
a horrible movie, though.
But that would have been
No.
cool, man, to see like Romero, Argento, Carpenter. I mean, because Carpenter, he's always said that Prince of Darkness, after he saw Argento's films, he's like after he saw Prince of Darkness came, that's what he did after that. So you know he's a fan. That would have been really cool to see. But I guess scheduling conflicts happened, and they didn't have that happen. So if they ended up just doing one movie a piece, doing one little hour anthology movie a piece. So
Yeah.
I think it worked out good.
Some of the issues that I think are prevalent in this film would probably have been ironed out with 2 other shorter bits to shorten these other 2 bits. And like, if it was like a 4-story anthology film, I think it probably would have had a better flow.
Yep.
Yeah, because you could tell that they took some. I think they like kind of merged a couple Poe stories in each of their. From what I heard in the behind the scenes from them talking, they threw. I haven't read really any Poe, so I can't say, but they mentioned a few stories that they took from to kind of throw
it's
into theirs.
inspired by.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Well, it looks like
they just adapted one short story or something. They kind of were taking ideas.
Well, Harvey
The
Keitel's
Telltale
customer was
Heart.
called Usher, so the
wasn't
house
like
of
the
Usher.
Telltale Heart part of the Black Cat story.
Yeah. Well, what was it? They originally Romero was supposed to do the Mask of Red Death, is it called maybe? And then Argento wanted to do Pit and Pendulum. So that would have been 2 totally different, stories, but they ended up going with these 2. It's tough, man, because they have so many. I feel like there's so many Black Cat stories, but I definitely would say I always kind of favor Romero's story a little bit more. I might be biased in that, but I just kind of like that one a little bit better. I think maybe it's just I don't know, man. It's tough. They're both they both kind of are paced a little bit more, where you could see, like Robbie said, they could be shorter. They could be tightened up instead of being just an hour a piece. When Scarpet said, I was like, oh shit, it is 2 hours long. Normally you would think maybe it'd be like 45 a piece or something. I could see they could have probably easily done like 45 a piece.
Yeah.
One detective
You break it up a little,
in the
brother.
next one, but you get that black cop instead. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was gonna say you get Tom Atkins as that cop for 5 minutes or less, and I kind of wish he would have merged over to the second story and been one of the detectives.
That'd been cool if he's
too.
the thread in both of them, right?
That's
I
smart,
thought
dude.
that was gonna happen.
They should have done that.
Totally,
Yeah.
that's smart.
I wanted them to kind of connect somehow, but they're both at least so it's same world, almost like Stephen King's Cat's Eye, where the cat is kind of like the the overall connecting to all the stories.
Yeah, I would have kept Amos and had Tom come in to work with him, because I think that too would have been great. Because Amos was great the way he just did. He laughed
instead
all
of
the
just
murders
giving
and
him
stuff.
that random blonde dude
Right.
as his
Blonde
partner
guy.
in the second story. Because obviously you got to keep the main guy. He's perfect. But I think him and Tom would have been funny. Obviously though, Tom's part is a lot more kind of goofy, as when they're coming in, he's got the whole old school detective vibe with the thin, bow tie or whatever, fucking collar. I don't even know, dude. I never wear it. What is it called? It's not a bow tie. It's just a tie.
Tie.
Surratt.
But when they
Surratt.
come in the house, bro, I always thought that shit is funny as hell, man. How they just do the full out kick the door down, and then they're just
Right. He's chewing on the cigar and everything. You're right. It is all this old school.
It's just very old school. But yeah, I mean, I enjoy both of them. I think we'll probably get into each one by one. But what's the first one called? Vladimir.
The facts in the case of Mr. Voldemort.
Voldemort. Yeah. I think the
Voldemort.
effects
I know.
I thought he was saying Voldemort too.
Yeah. I mean that I think that's a good one. Adrian Barbeau is great in that. I fucking know. It's kind of hypnotizing. I'm just straight killing.
Uh-oh.
I'm I see Robbie glitching.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little.
I'm fucking up.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah,
You're good now.
You're okay though.
But no one else just take it from me, bro, because I don't want to see you're glitching out.
All right. Well, okay. So we got two Evil Eyes. Yeah, Fable. Overall, what do you think overall about the film? Was this your first time?
No, this isn't my first time, but I don't remember my first time. I know I've seen this before. I just don't remember it so well. I got to side with Dylan on this one too, man. I think I quite enjoyed the first story. It gave me Creepshow vibes. It's something about Romero's directing. It's something about Romero's framing and goofiness with the cops and everything that I just love it. I love his. I don't know. I don't even know how to articulate it, but it's like it's goofy, but it's grounded. It's pulp. It's good. I love Romero's stuff.
It's right in his world. It's like a night. It's almost like a different
Yeah.
version of some Night of the Living Dead shit.
Yeah, you know, like Night of the Creeps, stuff like that.
Yeah,
The second story,
yeah, definitely.
the second story I enjoyed for the most part, but I thought it was kind of dumb. A few of the plot elements in there I thought were kind of stupid. But I enjoy Harvey Keitel. I enjoy most of the actors in there. So overall, I thought it was decent. I enjoyed it, but I did like the first half, maybe a lot more than the second half.
Yeah, Keitel definitely nails it in that one, though. You can't deny that. I just feel like that one could have been toned back, like cut even more in ways.
For sure.
There's just some things in that you don't need, and they could, if for how long it was, it could. I thought they might have went a little darker with some of this stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Like the best kill you get is really when he takes the cleaver and it goes through her hand.
Kills her, yeah.
So realistic, but they even kind of like you see the hand, but then he must hit her in the head. But then when they pan to her, there's like no blood. So I was like, what did he do to her?
I thought that too. Yeah.
I thought they could have done like a really cool kill for her.
Yeah.
Because that's really the only kill besides him killing the cat, I guess, Yeah. And then
there's the dream sequence, right, where he gets impaled.
That's a good. Yes, that's true. That's
in the
true.
dream
That's
sequence,
really...
I thought they could have probably cut. It was like a
that should have been cut, and
that should have been cut.
They were alluding to her being something more, and ultimately she was nothing. She just died easily.
I thought maybe she was gonna be like some type of witch or something,
Yeah.
I didn't think that, but
well, I think they were playing with that. I think they were totally playing on that idea, but it was more like his fear, right, of the cat and like the connotation, and I think Argento was playing with that witch thing, but not really fully going.
Hey, what's the cat's name? It's a secret.
Right.
Like, oh my god.
Only a witch would keep a cat's name secret.
Yeah.
I thought I was watching Silent Night, Deadly Night again for just 2 seconds. Witch covens.
Yeah, for a good portion of the movie though, he didn't even kill the cat, and I would have just said like, "Dude, I didn't kill the cat. Here she is," but he has some need to like keep her in a box, and I guess
there's two cats, so
time to time. It was a different cat.
Yeah, dude.
He killed the first cat and made that book.
Okay.
They never did show it, right?
Yeah, I didn't know. I couldn't tell. I didn't know if that was the same cat. Like he'd just been keeping it and just strangling it from time to time.
No, the scary part, and this is, I believe, part of the book where, like, when they try to get rid of the cat keeps coming back.
Oh yeah, that's what
That would have been better.
Maybe they were alluding to that here, but
don't they just imply that the cat gets killed in the movie? They see him like taking the pictures, and the next day she's like, "Where's the cat?"
Yeah.
So I didn't know if I missed something or.
Well, because they had that conversation where she's like, "I know that you did something." He goes, and he's like, "Look, it's been 2 weeks, like blah blah." So they mention it, but the cat that they find is not the same cat, right? Like, because
it's a different cat.
He killed that damn cat.
He killed that. He killed it for his
in
book.
the bar. She was a weird stretch.
I can imagine.
See the cat?
I can imagine George being like, "Dario, this is America. Now we cannot just kill a fucking cat straight on the screen, okay? You can choke it a little bit, but you can't."
Seriously, it's like you're gonna have to pan away from Harvey Keitel just taking a string and just going.
I was disturbed by that because I don't like to see.
So was I.
Yeah, I hate that.
Did you notice though when the credits roll, like real big, it's like the Humane Society.
Yeah.
But then again,
point out real quick, I did point this out in the back chat, but for the audience, incest is okay, burial ground, but
We know as Americans, that incest and nudity is not okay, and that you can kill as much as you want on the screen, and that's okay. So never say that for me. But I like cats. I like dogs. They can't fight back. I get stressed. Now, that being said, Reanimator, we had no problem with that dead cat, and he was killing that and shooting it up. But that was so fake, of course.
Right.
But still, I don't know. That's not a reason to say it's a bad movie.
You nailed it, though. It was because it was campy. It was the tone of that's what it is, yeah.
It's the tone, because he did it.
Yeah.
Because
And it totally makes you well, at least for me, it took me out of caring too much about him. Right? Like I don't even want to see how his story ends. Once he started choking out the cat, I was like, okay.
I kind of felt like that, but I think I got recovered from that.
You recovered quickly.
I recovered quickly.
It's just Harvey Keitel. That's what it is. Harvey Keitel kept me in it. But the character, I was like,
I mean, he's like drinking like early in the morning. It's like, bro, it's like you had to have done something.
Yeah, he went off the deep end pretty quick.
Yeah.
It kind of fits like the whole Edgar Allan Poe vibe, though, like the whole macabre, morose, gothic, depressing world.
Right.
That's Edgar Allan Poe.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, plus he's this like overbearing partner, right? Like he doesn't trust his woman. You know, she does wind up like meeting someone else and wanting to run away and all that stuff, but that happens after all of who knows how long of mistreatment, right? And there are little subtle things in the script. I'm not saying it's like a brilliant script, but little subtle things where he's like where John Amos is like, hey, you and your wife, like we're looking for you. She's not my wife. Like that gives you a little bit of sense, like they've been together, they're living together. Maybe there was a lack of commitment there. There's a lack of trust because he's following her, right? You know, and that's why I think he's having these dreams about the witch and the black cat connotation, being like, this woman is evil, what she's doing to me. But I'm sure he's the cause of isolating her and driving her away, right? So I think that's a subtle bit there in the script.
Speaking of subtlety, though, I'm treading into dangerous water defending this guy, but I feel like it was purposely done. When you first see him, he's in there with the cat. Cat's crawling on the photos. He's, oh no, kitty cat, get off the photos. He's trying to be nice. The cat scratches him. First of all, the fuck cat starts it, and then Annabelle walks in. And she's fucking. That's when she's being really weird. She's defending the cat, she's so strange. So I think they purposely do.
But to be fair, too, he was chasing the cat around, trying to photograph. He was pissing that cat off. So I can't really blame the cat.
Not till after that, though. Yeah, after that, they did it on purpose, where it wasn't him at the start. They had to have a reason behind that. Like she's not innocent in it all either. No, she's weird as shit. And you're right. The woman at the bar, they're weird as shit. Like they're all
witches, all
conspiracy.
Up. And I would have probably liked that more if that had panned out. Like, right? Oh yeah, you're being hunted by a witch. You killed the wrong chick. You killed the wrong cat. Like, you know what I mean? But it didn't pan out that way.
Well,
heck yeah. So, Scarpad, all right, Faye, were you done?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Scarpad, what'd you think, man? I'm sure this was actually your first time watching it, right?
No, I realized once it started that I had seen this before. It's been a while, and I kind of didn't. I remembered the first part a little bit. I didn't remember the second part. Anthology movies are tough for me. I mean, it's hard to judge a whole movie because it's really two separate stories. But I gotta say, I feel exactly the opposite as you guys so far. I vastly enjoyed the second one more than I did the first one. The first one to me was pedestrian. It wasn't shot well. To me, it looks like George took a script for a 30-minute Tales from the Dark Side, padded it out to an hour, and filmed it. I mean, long stretches of boring, like they put this guy in the freezer, and it reminded me a little bit of the beginning, her character from Creepshow. All the stuff that's going on, they're going to come back. I expected more to happen with that. I mean, I just did not like the first.
There's a little more something with those other people.
I did not like the first half of this movie at all. I was getting ready to really pan this thing until the second half. And although I think the second half has a lot of issues too, but just the cinematography, the music, the acting, the atmosphere is on such a whole different level than that first pedestrian half of that movie that it was night and day for me. I mean, the Argento stuff was just, that segment was just so much better than the first half of this movie, I felt. The story, everything you felt. I didn't like Keitel, and you weren't supposed to like him. He was a dick from the beginning. He went into that scene, the pendulum scene, and he turned on the thing. I like Argento's crazy cops because we always get that in his movies. I just like the whole thing. Although I thought it was still too long. It was about half an hour too long. They should have cut the whole Renaissance Fair part, even though we got that nice death in it. The deaths were better than this. It was more of a stronger horror movie. Until the ending, which made absolutely fucking no sense to me when they're climbing out the window handcuffed. And what was he going to do there? I don't know. I have no idea. And then it ends on a terrible freeze frame. I hate those fucking freeze frames, like at the end of shows and stuff. So I thought this was not a tremendously strong movie, although I liked the second half story quite a bit more than the first. And Harvey Keitel was great. The effects were good and stuff. But yeah, definitely for me, the first half was weak.
For sure. Yeah, I guess maybe the one kill Argento does with the Renaissance is that's probably the best kill of the whole. No, it's tough, man. I probably would still say the kill at the end with the freaking hypnotizing thing. There's like one great kill in each movie.
That was maybe the best part of that movie.
Which is crazy because like it's Savini on the effects, you know.
Yeah,
is it?
Thought they would have done more, man.
And Savini was the killer too in the second one.
Yeah, he's in it for like a second.
I thought what they did that was kind of smart was putting Harvey Keitel in the job that he had so they could slide in some more gore without having kills. Because it's not like this was a slasher and there's a bunch of bodies.
Yeah.
Right.
We're also, this movie's what, 1990?
1990, yeah.
Yeah, so we're in the age where they're starting to try to really, I mean, we talk all the time about how the MPA like will cut movies, but in like after 86, it starts happening more and more year to year, right? And that gives us the more soft films of the 90s, right? The more soft horror films. So we are already well into this decline where they already know that they're going to be pushing boundaries with this movie, so they can't go too far because they still want to try to get it released out there at some point. Of course, we got the non-rated. Yeah, it's Romero, so it's probably released unrated actually, but means that it wasn't released very widespread.
Widespread, right?
Yeah, because it didn't really have a big, like wide release. It went to a few theaters, they were saying, and it mainly did its thing on on Blu-ray or DVD and VHS or whatever, because it didn't have like a wide, huge theater release. So, which is kind of crazy because if it didn't have that big of a release, you would have thought they had at least went straight unrated. Wish they had an unrated cut on this Blue Underground, if anything. But
so it's got a $9 million budget. They made $350,000.
Wow.
A bit of a bomb. But to be fair, anthology movies never do well in the theater. I don't think.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not going to
movies never do well.
It doesn't go to any theaters either.
What was the original cover? Does anybody know? Was it that red one or the black one? Because
it was the red one, I think.
Or is it the red one?
I think the red one was the original. Yeah.
It's either this one or I don't know. The one I always see.
I thought the original was this one.
That's
But I don't know if the cat was on the original poster.
No, the OG is the red one with the eyes.
Okay.
That's the real poster. Yeah.
That's the OG one.
Mm-hmm.
The one that Robbie just showed must have been like.
I remember because I remember that box art
or something
from the going to the VHS store.
Yeah, this is the original release from.
But Steph, my man, what'd you think of this, bro? First time watch?
Yeah, it was first time watch. It was an interesting film. This is a weird one for me because I didn't think I'd ever say it again, but I'm gonna have to side with Scarphead, or I kind of spoke what I feel about the film. I got what they were going for with the first half, but it felt like because when they said it was based off Edgar Allan Poe, I was expecting a certain vibe, I guess. And the first half did have elements of that, but it was kind of like a goofy take on Edgar Allan Poe stuff that I think the second half just kind of nailed that feel and atmosphere better. Like Harvey Keitel, he's just, it's kind of going crazy throughout the whole film, just bad shit happening, and I don't know, I just felt like that was really just, and they just nailed that aspect of it. I do like, Dylan, you pointed out the kill at the end of what was the first half called? So just
the Voldemort, Mr. Voldemort.
Mr. Voldemort.
Facts of the strange something. The facts in the case of Voldemort is what it is, right?
Voldemort, I'll call it that.
The boy who
I like the end kill. The end kill with the chest. That was super dope. That stood out for me.
Yeah.
But that was beyond that. It did feel a little boring with the whole relationship between the doctor and the wife, and them trying to get money from the dying old rich guy.
Way too long.
It exists though. That exists. Hugh Hefner. But the second half wasn't, it wasn't extremely better, but I did enjoy the second half better than the first, because I think that whole morose, like, it's not supposed to be a feel good time with these, type of stories. I think they kind of nailed that insanity aspect a little bit better, or a situation like that driving someone crazy. Then, like, the doctor, how he responded to it, and
Poe fan.
what's that?
I guess Argento was like a massive Poe fan, so
That tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Romero was like a little less. Like, he said he read all the books and stuff, but I don't think he was like as big of a fan.
Super into it.
Like, Argento was basically like a fanboy. He was like the way he was talking.
Yeah, I feel like he kind of nailed that whole thing. Enjoyable film though. It was interesting.
Yeah. So you enjoyed it for your first watch, but could have been better.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed it.
Hey,
All
bro,
films could probably be better, but I enjoyed
another
this watch.
like a half of a film you could count down for Italian, since Argento's Italian. It's like an Italian American film.
Oh, and I want to say, I think both halves could have been trimmed to like 45 minutes apiece. I think someone said that earlier. I think that would have worked a lot better.
I was surprised when I looked and saw that it was 2 hours. That's surprising too, like, especially even if it like 80s, no way you're getting a 2 hour horror movie. Like, even 90s, I was surprised it wasn't just like an hour 30 flat,
Right, yeah.
Did everybody watch it in one sitting? Because I didn't either time. I watched it twice. Both times I was like,
I took a 10-minute break in between the stories. But that's what's good about anthology movies. You can
right.
Yeah, you could watch the first half and then turn it off and then come back for the second half, literally.
Right. Or you could just be in the mood one day, but I'm going to watch that Black Cat. Just watch the second
right.
half. Vice versa.
Yep.
Which you wouldn't necessarily do with Creepshow, which is kind of the one thing. Well, I'm saying because they're shorter. Like, I can see doing that more with this than an anthology with more sections to it.
Like,
every
Death
now
Proof
and then,
and
I love me to throw on an episode of Masters of Horror every now and then. That's another good one. You got to check that show, Vern. I think they're on.
Is that the Showtime one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
Okay, that was pretty good.
Oh, it's got work in there from Dario Argento, John Landis, John Carpenter, Clive Barker, Don Coscarelli, Joe Dante, Takashi Miike. Like, it is truly the masters of horror.
Larry Cohen.
Wait, only 2 seasons?
2 seasons, and then they went to NBC with it, and they retitled.
Wow.
They retitled it Fear Itself, and those are.
I didn't know that. I've seen the Fear Itself ones.
Yeah, that was the 3rd season of
Oh,
Masters.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
There was only like one good one out of the whole run of that. One or two.
I believe they went to NBC. That's not the way to go for horror.
No, it's not, and it did not work. So, but season 1 of Masters of Horror is where it's at. There's some good bits in season 2. Like Argento does one with starring Meatloaf called Pelts, about evil cursed raccoon pelts that make a fur coat and then curse this dude. Like, seriously, that's ridiculous, right? It's all
Carpenter has that good pro-life one too,
with Ron Perlman, and then he's got the one with is called Cigarette Burns, which is from the 1st season, And I think that's one of the best things John Carpenter's ever directed.
He's got a pro-life or pro-choice one, because I'd like to see it.
It's called pro-life, but it's Ron Perlman's the dad of this woman, and she's wanting to get an abortion, and he's like making sure that she doesn't get an abortion and gives birth to this baby, but it's like a demon baby.
Oh, okay.
Dude, both seasons are worth checking out for sure. But yeah, me and Robbie agree that season 1 is like fire, like every single one. Almost, at least I'd say like 90%.
Yeah, very difficult to get that show on any kind of physical media.
I miss Showtime Beyond.
But Vern, my man, so what did you think, bro? First time watch for you?
Yeah. Yep. I thought I had seen it when I put it on, but no, I'd never seen it. I enjoyed both the stories quite a bit. Neither of them blew me away, but I liked them both. Was intrigued by them. I agree with like everything everyone said. They should have been shorter, blah blah blah. But I will say, like, it was weird because I watched it twice, like I said, and I enjoyed them like in reverse order. The first time I thought the first one was a little slow, and I was like kind of blown away by the Argento one. I watched it really late at night, headphones on, and I was like really into the atmosphere of that. And today I rewatched it again, and I enjoyed the first one a lot more. I appreciated it, and it did feel a little bit longer, but it didn't seem that long to me. I was into the acting, into the suspense, and like I actually liked the atmosphere. I get what you're saying, Steph, where it wasn't as like, I'm not like a big Poe guy, so I didn't really care that it wasn't as like depressing, but I get what you're saying. But I dug it. It reminded me less of his zombie stuff and way more of like Creep Show as far as Romero goes. But I thought it was cool. I wish they wouldn't have in the first one. One of the coolest things about it is when they're talking about when he's saying there are others. And that is so fucking dope because it's just a guy saying there are others. And it's the cinema of the mind where we all have this picture in our head of where this dude is and what are these others like. And I wish they'd never showed them at the end. Like, you know what I mean? Because then they did, or if they were going to show them, make them look super badass because they did.
Right.
I don't know. I actually thought they were creepy because they looked like I know now you can look at it and you can tell they're just people in like bodysuits, right? But it like the way they were fading it in and out, like I like that. It was giving me like ghost vibes almost. Like you remember them shadows that came and to like pull people to hell or whatever in the movie
There was
Ghost.
just a couple shots that you could see too much of them. Like when they're like, you could notice some looked really creepy, and then there was a couple shots where I was like, you could see them.
But if you watch it on VHS, maybe not.
Man, yeah, true.
No, I agree though. It's exactly right, Robbie. As soon as you saw that, you knew exactly that they're in that suit. They're in the Green Man suit. It reminded me of Star Trek. There's a few Star Trek bits where they're wearing those suits, and you can see it. But I actually thought it was really good. Like the direction. My takeaway from it is that Romero, especially on the second watch through, is that he's kind of like Carpenter in the way where he's not a flashy guy. He's just really fucking smooth, and it doesn't really necessarily stand out. And even in the second one, I thought Argento was more geared towards that style from Romero. He was less flashy, and it kind of reminded me of that, where it was pretty subtle.
It's definitely a more subdued Argento, and that's kind of the way that Argento goes into like post-opera Argento is kind of like that, where it's like more static, it's less interesting visually, and that kind of like carries through his films all the way through to today. Honestly, like a lot of the super stylish stuff, I think, really ends with opera.
Right, which is frustrating when that's the shit you get into, and then you go to listen to the future or watch the future movies, and you're like, why aren't you doing that? But anyway, the last thing about the first one is it bugged me that the doctor, they did this flip by the end of it where the doctor is kind of the one that is, he didn't feel right about the situation, and that was never earned. They killed off Adrian Barbeau, whatever her name is, and they have him at the end, and you don't care about that guy. Then they kill him. The second one, like I said, dude, I was blown away by it late at night when I was really zoned in by it. So it is one of those movies, I think, where if you're not as into the atmosphere of it, you're not gonna feel it as heavily. But Harvey Keitel is the best actor
the music is
ever worked
so
with.
better in Argento's.
Yeah, the music, the end title is phenomenal.
Music was fire. It was like old school, but it was like super, super fucking well done.
Second half.
Yeah. I think it was one of the Robbie. I wonder what you think of this. It's like one of the better stories that Argento has ever had, like put to film. Like, just because it's coming from, I don't know if he's done many adaptations, but his stories aren't the best. It's his style. So I thought it was cool to see a super top level actor not being dubbed, more of a Hollywood production, which I don't know if it was shot in Hollywood or Italy. I'm curious if you guys know. But so to me, it was one of the cool. Okay, it was cool to see Argento working in Hollywood with this style and this not style but stature of actors and shit. So it was dope. The ending sucked to kind of both of them, and that was the issue of it. The ending of the second one, you're like, what the fuck just happened? Did he commit suicide? Was that an accident? I think it was an accident. Was he trying to get away? How long did it take Argento to film that fucking key falling down? I bet he spent the whole week doing that.
See, but like from what I've read, Poe, like a lot of situations, the stories end up in situations like that where they were it was fucked from the jump.
Yeah.
The first one, it felt like, the doctor just got away, then he's just laying in bed. It felt kind of cheap with the doctor death at the first half of the film compared to the ending of the later half.
But isn't the doctor become just like the guy they killed? Isn't he like trapped too now?
Yeah, he's trapped in it. Yeah, he put himself under somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that.
Himself.
Yeah, because he hypnotizes himself every night when he sleeps. They set that bit up, right?
Oh, okay.
And plus, that is just that's the best one.
I enjoyed the kill. Yeah.
That thing looked scary to me because it lit up. It had like a little light on it. I'm like, what is that? That's like the puzzle box from Hellraiser. It's like a puzzle hypnotizer. I don't know.
It was creepy.
Yeah.
So now we know that Fable's really terrified of metronomes. If we ever want to like really get him, we just
Isn't there something like that in Exorcist 2? Isn't that what they use to like?
Yeah, it is.
That's why I hate that movie.
Yeah.
I think you hate that.
Now you think it.
It's no Exorcist 3. I'll tell you that.
That's for sure.
We can all agree on that.
It's way better than part 2. I'll give you that. I'll give you that all day.
Hell yeah. Vern, did you have anything else to say, my man?
No, man, I'm good. I'm good.
All right, Rockin' Robbie. Let's see what you got to say.
All right, man. So I'm a huge fan of George A. Romero.
Bricks out this month.
What? What you say? Anyway, I'm a huge fan of George A. Romero. I'm a huge fan of Dario Argento. I list both of them as some of my favorite directors out there. When I first heard that this movie existed, because I didn't see this movie when I was a kid. I never even saw this at the video store or nothing. I got this movie back on like Anchor Bay DVD or something like that because I found out that Romero and Argento had done an Edgar Allan Poe anthology together. Boom! So I watched it back then and loved it. Still love this movie. Rewatching it, being more critical nowadays as we are here on Dylan's Horror Show, it doesn't have the same oomph that it had for me before. I think that's also because we've had this renaissance of horror. And when I first watched this movie, we're coming off the 90s, and I was talking about how kind of soft a lot of those movies got. Like, as much as I love Scream, we've all talked about that post-Scream horror wave that just kind of, it wasn't necessarily my thing. Like Urban Legend and I Know What You Did Last Summer. I got tired of those like 90s high school, like wannabe Dawson's Creek slasher films, right? And now we have more stuff like this, right? So watching it now, I see some of the faults. The biggest faults in both sections to me is pacing, right? Mm-hmm. If this was 3 stories, 4 stories, and they were tighter, like 30 minutes long, 40 minutes long, this would have a better flow. It feels, first of all, it's great to see Argento and Romero basically do Tales from the Crypt episodes, right? That's basically what they got. That's basically the production value on it. So I do like it, but it could have been, both stories could be tighter. And I agree with what everybody said. This should be an hour and a half, hour and 40, right? Judging both stories, I think I like them both equally, but for different reasons. I really like the Romero one because it's like a standard. It's like this. I really think it's a creepy aspect that this motherfucker died while hypnotized and he's still alive, right? Yeah. And you can hear him. No, like that's scary to me. The shadows, the shapes, cheesy they may be. But I really do think that concept's creepy. That death, that's gnarly. Adrienne Barbeau is awesome in everything she's in. The lawyer is the dude who was the racist dude from Creep Show with all the cockroaches, right? I liked his performance too. And I love the boyfriend. It's like I feel like Ted Danson wasn't available because Cheers was too popular. You know, because
Right.
Romero's bringing everybody back from Creepshow, basically.
Creepshow.
That's
Yeah.
what he's doing here, right? So I like that story, and it is definitely more Romero style. Argento's story, Black Cat, I still love it. I love it. There's so many interpretations of the Black Cat, Fulci, which we'll be doing in just a couple weeks here, I believe. And
Yep.
there's my favorite is a Masters of Horror episode in season 2, which Stuart Gordon does the Black Cat, and Jeremy Combs plays Edgar Allan Poe, and he's
Yep.
the main character in the Black Cat story, and it's very rooted in the original. And also Stuart Gordon in the first season does his best interpretation of an H.P. Lovecraft story with Dreams at the Witch House. Fucking awesome.
Oh yeah.
Stuart Gordon pushes
Love that one.
boundaries. You know what I'm saying? And they kind of go easy on the cat harm in this. Stuart Gordon ain't gonna do that. So if you do watch his version of the Black Cat, like,
Yeah.
do be prepared for that.
Or wait for Fulci's.
Or wait for Fulci's, yeah. I do really like the Black Cat story. Harvey Keitel is great in it. I like this weird tone that it strikes, right? Where, like Vern was saying, like you're a little bit kind of like, oh, this cat's an asshole, right? But then like he starts choking the cat, like torturing, like getting into it. And an ex-girlfriend of mine used to live with a roommate who would like oddly like chase the cats around and trap them and hold them against I was not fucking cool with that. Like, right. Me and that dude had a lot of fucking words, right? About like, I don't like it when people mistreat fucking animals. So at that moment, I am now rooting for Harvey Keitel to get fucking got. And that's what they're leading us up to, right? They're all stories of comeuppance, right? And that's what you get in these kind of EC Comics inspired stories, right? These tales from Edgar Allan Poe. You get that detective story kind of thrown in the midst of both of them. And Edgar Allan Poe is credited with inventing the detective story. Both stories have separate cinematographers, but they have the same music. It's Pino Donaggio. Most of us will know his work from, I don't know, little known movies like Fulci's Black Cat, The Howling, and Dressed to Kill, Carrie. So if you like them, I really like the music.
Interesting.
And I'm jealous of the set that Dylan has that comes with the CD. But not that I listen to CDs anymore anyway. I just stream all my music. But I do like it. I like it a lot. It's not Argento's best movie. It's not Romero's best movie, but it is a movie that I can watch today from two of my favorite directors adapting Edgar Allan Poe stories, both in their own style. And I do like it. I like it. I like the music. I like the message. You know, that everybody's going to get what's coming to them type thing. And, you know, it could be better. It could be more perfect. But for what it is, I love it. Still do.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's tough for me. Like sometimes I feel like when I go back, I'll side with Black Cat, but when I watched it the last time, I kind of enjoyed it. Maybe it's just my mood. I like the first one.
I just don't think there's anything supernatural about Black Cat, though. I don't think there's anything horrific, scary. It's just a story about a crazy motherfucker
Oh, the thing that
who kills his wife and his cat.
Well, did he make
like Jack Nicholson.
there's
in The Shining.
supernatural elements to it because he kills the cat, but when the cat comes back, they're like, see the white spot? It's the same
Right.
cat. Like that's
But they
there
didn't
is a
sell that.
supernatural element to it because I believe, if I remember right, that's in the original story.
Yeah.
Which I wish I would have had the time to reread the original
Mhm.
stories of both of these. Right?
Same.
I never read the Voldemort story. I mean, I've read Harry Potter.
I
Yeah.
guess at least
Did,
with the
did
first
anybody else
one.
get the vibe or think that when they went to that Renaissance area, that that part of the movie, that they were going to stay there? I almost thought they were going to stay in that area. That he maybe somehow dreamt and went back in a time into that whole
It was
thing.
weird.
I
It
thought
felt
that
like a
was gonna
Star
stay
Trek
there.
episode, like they were about to enter a different reality.
Yeah.
It was a holodeck episode. Is what it was.
Right.
No,
It did.
no, like 60 Star Trek with the fake sets in the background.
Right. I loved the way it was edited in at the end with the noose, where like once they did look at the white spot, you see that it's the hangman's noose, and the way that little was spliced in there was really fucking cool. The white spot and the women, like, what do you guys make of the women in this film? Like, why do they act the way that they did so strangely?
They act the way they do because if you study Argento's work and you study his personal life, Argento is terrified of a lot of things, just like Lovecraft was, just like Edgar Allan Poe was. One of the biggest things that Argento is scared of is women, right? Like, and it's not like he's been accused of being like very misogynistic in his films and stuff, and I don't think that watching his films, terrible things happen to dudes and to women in his films, right? And it is just the way it is. But he had problematic relationships with all of the women in his life. He revered women. He respected women, like, immensely. Like, we were talking about Deep Red. That's a very feminist kind of leaning movie, right?
Right.
That's Daria Nicoletti's influence, right? But he had some issues with his abusive mother that went into his career, into his work, and into his relationships with Daria Nicoletti, who was the mother of one of his most famous children, which is Asia Argento. And he had a troubled relationship with Asia for a long time. That Argento's different now, and they've kind of healed a lot of that stuff. If you dive into their personal lives and stuff, but Argento has a lot of trauma from a very, very abusive mother that comes out through a lot of his films towards his depiction of women.
I mean, I've heard that I get all that, but it's like I don't buy into the whole argument of women. The whole you're killing a bunch of women on stage, so that is kind of sexist. The one argument that I heard recently that I was like, oh, that's really interesting, is what would you film as a visual medium? What is more visually appealing, men or women? Women, like everyone knows that. So it's like, why not put something really beautiful on screen as well? If we're going to kill them, plus the argument I've made before, men have a natural tendency, whether you believe it or not, to want to protect women. So we don't like to see women get killed. Women have a natural tendency to not want to be chopped up.
Well,
so they don't like to see it either.
Same reason you don't want to see the cat get.
Well, it does help that in the 80s, all the filmmakers and everybody that ran the studios and did everything were all men, so that did help the thing.
True.
Well, so what you're saying, Berno, is kind of like the Eli Roth argument, right? Or Eli
that
Roth's
might be who I heard say it.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds exactly like something you would say. That is a very bro-y way to look at it. And I look at it that way too. Like, right? Like seriously, like I, as a viewer, care more about a beautiful object being harmed than, and that could be a man or a woman, right? Like, depending on whatever you're into. Like, there are beautiful men out there. They don't usually wind up in horror films, but they could.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah, Johnny Depp. Like, come on. You can't tell me that Johnny Depp was not too pretty to die in Nightmare on Elm Street. Come on, man. But
Friday the 13th Part 2, all those men.
I do not think that Argento is a misogynistic person who hates women at all. I don't think that at all. I think that he had a woman influence him very early in his life that really twisted him up a little bit, and he had a lot of things that he kind of dealt with through his art, and not necessarily his personal life. I've never heard things about him being physically abusive with his daughters or his wife at the time, or I don't even know if him and Dario ever got married. How weird is it when you're Dario and your partner's Daria? Right. How confusing is that at parties, right? I know a couple both named Casey. Like, how weird
Cerebro.
Yeah, on the
Italian thing.
One of his daughters was in Two Evil Eyes, or the Black Cat part. I forget. I think it's Asia or something. And she was literally like obsessed with her father. She was like, I look up to him so much. I hope to be in all his films. But she was a lot younger in it. But she seemed literally like a straight daddy's girl.
Oh yeah, and she's in tons of films. She's in Bell Syndrome. She's in Phantom of the Opera. She's in Dracula. She's a Mother of Tears. She's in his newest film, Dark Glasses. They do have a good working relationship. It's just he does have no problem writing lots of sexual scenes and lots of violent scenes involving the women in his life. And some people think that's weird. Maybe it's different in Italy. I don't know.
That's what they say.
If I was going to tell you that Argento, though, was a normal fucking dude, I would be lying. He didn't look like one, does he? He looks like the kind of guy that would make these movies.
Hey, speaking of the way he looks, and speaking of Burial Ground, which we now bring up every episode, if you look, the little guy from Burial Ground, if you look in his Wikipedia, it says he was probably most famous for being a Dario Argento lookalike in Italy. Like, he looked like a miniature Dario Argento. That's what it says. Like the first line of his Wikipedia.
Oh yeah, he does a little bit in the face. Also, did you catch a young Dexter's girlfriend was in this as the student at the end? And of course, we had Zira from Planet of the Apes was in it, Kim Hunter. So
yeah,
he brought the he brought the big talent out in the Argento part.
Oh, yeah. So I guess we could probably get into what the movie's trying to say and then do the rating. Unless anyone else has something to say, unless Robbie, if you want to get into the music a little bit more. I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to mention before.
I mean, I just think the guy is absolutely good. I mean, if you look at his career, he's done a lot of work with Brian De Palma. He's done most of his films, like Body Double. I'm looking through the list to see if anything else sticks out to me. But the music is it's usually when you watch something, Romero and Argento both have very different ways of utilizing music in their films. That's why the two different cuts of Dawn of the Dead
Super different.
are so drastically different, right?
Yeah, it's real
Same
different.
footage, different music, different fucking vibe and tone, right?
Wow.
Like one is more comedic, right? Satirical and comedic, but one is very just dreading. Like it's a dreadful experience, the Argento cut, I think, right? And that Goblin score does it. So, and the thing is, the music kind of blends the two kind of aesthetics together, the Romero and the Argento. So it doesn't feel ever as stylized. Now the music does get a little bit more involved in the Black Cat story. And Romero's been always cool just using stock music and shit like that. Like to him, it's just like, sure, like something exciting. It doesn't matter. Like Argento's the guy that like writes the fucking music with the composer before he starts shooting so he can play the music on set, right? So that's another interesting thing about this film is they are two very different types of filmmakers, and they were friends, and they got along really well, and they both loved horror, and they loved making these movies, and that does come across. I think the love and the fun comes across.
Yeah, definitely, man. I agree. They definitely were two major fans, that's for sure. So it's pretty cool to see a guy, just a guy from Pittsburgh, you know, may become really good friends with a guy from Italian that are just two major horror fans, you know. Pretty cool. So yeah, we'll get into the theme and the rating. So let's kick it off with Steph, my man. What did you think? What do you think that I guess each one rate?
Gotcha.
I think he said, did he say rate each one?
Theme and rating.
I don't know. Is
Theme
the
rating.
show over? Did Dylan just do the freeze frame like at the end of the movie?
No, he's still there.
Oh, there you are, Dylan.
No, it's just
You said theme rating, right, Dylan?
theme and rating.
All right. Theme, yeah, this is a simple one. I'm just trying to pull is don't do shady shit. Karma catches up to you. The doctor and the girlfriend were trying to get over, and the old dude got fucked over. Harvey Keitel gave into like those dark desires, and killing people, and he got fucked over. So I'll just say that. But rating, I guess this one a 3. It was a good adaptation of Edgar Allan Poe stuff, like modernized, I guess, for the 90s. It was solid. It's not the best George Romero from what I've seen, and it's the first Argento. The first Argento I've seen. It was decent, but you guys say there's better, so it was competent work. But like Robbie said, the passion for the project does shine through on this, so I'll give it a solid 3 out of 5. I enjoyed it.
Very respectable.
All right.
Do you guys want to, just throwing it out there, do you want to do like a rating for each one, then an average? You got like a 3.5 and a 2.5 to get to a 3, or do you guys don't want to go that far?
I was gonna say a
That's
theme.
a lot of math.
I was definitely gonna say a theme for both movies, but yeah, you could rate them both if you want. What would you give? Because you like Black Cat a little bit more, don't you, Steph?
Yeah.
So what would you give the first one, and then what would you give the second one?
3 for the first half, 3.5 for the second half.
Okay. All right. So then it still evens out to about a 3, like you said.
Yeah.
Or 3.25. Well, yeah.
3.25.
Don't be a stickler.
If you want to be a stickler, it's 3.269.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. All right. So Faye, what do you think the theme for both of them is, and the rating for both?
Theme, I go with Steph. The same thing. I think they both share similar themes the same way. It's Poe. That's Poe's thing,
Yeah,
right? That's his signature. Like, and I think both of those try to do it, and I think they both kind of come off doing it well. If I had to rate each one, I'd probably give the first half a 3, and I'd probably give the second half a 2.5. For me, the second one, I just don't think it's there's any horror element to it. I just think it's a crazy dude that just doesn't like cats and fucking got, he hates his wife or something. There's just nothing supernatural about it, which I want with a Poe. Or
You
that
think them
kind of
zombie
story.
cats at the end aren't supernatural, bro?
Yeah, but like at that point, it's like, what?
It was more
explanation for these
psychological.
Cats being alive, yeah, like these cats are alive. How?
Well, that's
The
the
woman.
supernatural bit. The second blackened cat with the white spot, like that's the other supernatural bit. He's being haunted by his past. He keeps coming back. That's the horror bit.
They killed 2 different cats, though. It would be that if it was the same cat that came back. Like,
But
I think it was.
Just killed
It
you.
is the same cat that comes back.
Yeah, it's like Pet Cemetery.
He does kill the cat, but the cat comes
Okay,
back.
but then he kills it twice, and it's like the cat never really. I mean, scratched him a couple times. Okay, he never really got off on the guy. This guy killed all his enemies. The only thing his problem was the cops. But you know what I mean. But anyway, that's far from the point. I give the first one a 3. I give the second one a 2.5. It's a solid watch. I enjoyed this. No regrets watching it.
All right. First one a 3, second one a 2.5. Scarpad, what'd you think, brother? Theme and rating on both.
Theme.
Yeah, what do you think?
Don't adopt a black cat would be the guess for the second one.
Yeah.
Be a dog, get a dog.
If your girl tries to
If that was
move
a
in with
dog,
black
none of this
cat,
shit would have
pick her
happened if
through
it was
the
a dog.
road.
I like
That's
cats.
Very true.
I like
Very
cats,
true.
but if it was a dog,
Like that.
would have done it. Anyways,
Cats are
and
mischievous.
the first one, obviously, don't shoot your old husband in the head when he's in a freezer frozen
You
anyway.
greedy bitch.
The greedy bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, she really shot herself in the foot on
That's
that
right.
one.
I mean, they were almost going to get away with it. She didn't shoot him in the head.
I love the doctor's reactions. What the fuck?
What did they do?
I didn't know if he was mad about
can
the
I ask you a
shotgun
question,
because he's
though?
like, we had life after death. I proved it.
Can I ask you a quick question before you keep going? Why is it that they had to wait 3 weeks for her to get money? Well, why couldn't he die within 3 weeks?
Literally, he signed everything.
Yeah, he could have just died. Who cares?
It's something the lawyer said, but I
The
kind of
paperwork
forget what it
guy.
was.
The,
Right.
I don't
Like,
know.
you
The
gotta
lawyer
keep
literally
him
says
alive on
something.
next couple
He's-
weeks.
Yeah, the lawyer actually says like, and then nothing better happened to him, or
In
I'm
3
going
weeks.
to really look into this.
Something else along those lines is why does it take until the last second before the dead guy says, "Wake me up"? It's like you should have said that first if you knew that all along.
Yeah. I'm gonna give the first half, I guess, a 2.5. I really didn't like it. I mean, to me, it played like a kind of very lukewarm Tales of the Dark Side episode. And
Oh,
it should
like
have been.
Kingdom of the Spiders.
It should have been a Tales of the Dark Side episode. It just felt very pedestrian to me, very TV like to me. Both halves really did. It really felt more like a TV movie than a major motion picture. But I like the second one a lot better just because of the atmosphere. The music was so much better. The acting was great.
Let's be honest,
Harvey
Harvey
Keitel, yeah, he's great in it.
Totally.
Adrian Barbeau was good. I just thought the story in the first one wasn't that great.
She's excellent.
Adrian's
Adrian's excellent.
So I really like, Adrian Barbeau, but I think she was stronger in a similar performance in Creepshow.
She's
So-
way
Pretty
more of a
different
bitch in Creep
So
Show.
it's-
They're different.
Yeah.
characters.
I'm just saying, well, she was still
Yeah,
kind of a
she had,
gold digger
like,
in that one. She
remorse
was just a
and
lot more cruder in it than this woman was.
She had some remorse in this movie.
Yeah.
The other one, she had no remorse at all, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would give the second one probably 2.75. So I would say overall 2.75 for the whole flick.
2.5 and a
2.75, yeah,
for the second story.
for the second story. Yeah, I like that a little bit better.
I got you. I thought you were saying 3 for that, so it equals out to.
Yeah, I would say probably 3 overall for the entire movie, between
So then the
275
whole
and 3.
2.75.
Yeah.
All right. So Vern, what do you think the theme and the the rating for both stories.
I mean, you guys all nailed the theme. For me, I think it's the same for both of them, which is why they fit together. It's just your past is going to come back to haunt you.
Right. Yeah.
The dead don't stay dead if you made them dead.
Yeah.
Even though they
She made
didn't,
him.
he didn't
Especially
make
if you
him.
made him dead,
naturally.
right?
He died naturally. It was just that they stole all his money before he died naturally.
Right. Even that part. See, that's part of like the writing that I like the first one.
Shot him.
They kind of do a delicate balance of like how bad she is and how bad the doctor is. But that's also part of the problem. Like I said, by the end of it, they flip it and that wasn't earned at all. But
Yeah.
Does anybody know why she was taking like $4 million out and putting it in the safe? I mean, she didn't end up doing
I
anything
think
with
she
that
was
money.
trying to hide it from him, if anything.
Yeah.
Maybe.
the other thing is they were married. Why wasn't she wasn't going to get hooked up at all? Like, well,
He
they had a
said, the
prenup?
lawyer said that he's like, he generously took care of you in the will. And she's like, yeah, but how long is all that going to take? And for some reason, the will, all this estate sale would take like,
She wanted everything signed over to her.
Like, well, what am I supposed to do in the
Yeah.
meantime? Get a job waitressing? Like, I need money right now. That's what, like, it seemed to be the rush.
Yeah, but then she did get the money. She got like $4 million they gave her, so it didn't make any sense.
I know.
Really.
Yeah, no, when you think about it, I guess that,
Yeah, that's why it didn't make sense when I said, why would it take 3
But-
weeks? Why do it? He can't die. He could die.
Yeah.
He's fucking dying anyway. Like, he
Right.
might just
Exactly.
die.
You like, he's like, you better, no matter what, you better keep him alive.
Well, I think she said
Well,
she was
the
gonna
thing
get-
is this. The thing is this.
God.
She got all the money by liquidating his assets.
Yeah.
Typically, what would happen in these kind of situations is those assets stay out there, perpetually making money for the family.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And she was like, cash it all out. We're talking about stocks, real estate, like all this kind of stuff. She's like, cash it all in. He wants it all cashed in
I think
before he dies.
That's it.
I think she wanted to pay. I think she wanted to pay the doctor because she knew he was an asshole. He knew he was a dirtbag like her, and he was going to turn on her if it took 2 years to get $1 million. Like, he's like,
Oh yeah,
I can't wait.
that doctor was gonna get rid of her ass as soon as she got the money.
She
You could tell
even,
the way it was-
says though too that she like went after they shoot him in the head and he's like, what are we gonna do? She's like, what? We have money. We can like pay as long as we have money, our problems we don't have problems. Like she could just pay people off, you know. I'm sure she thought she could just pay the doctor off and get him to. But he was acting like he was in love with her too. He's like, I didn't want the money. You're the one.
He was kind of in love with her, yeah.
Well, they had a past relationship because he says, I just want you back.
Right.
Which implies a lot.
Yeah, because that's why he had to hate, because she's like, you're so spiteful. I'm not as spiteful as you. And now I'm having a real hard time with this. And he's like, yeah, of course I'm spiteful. Like he took you away. He took you away from me. And she's like, well, I left because she was gold digging. You know what I'm saying? Like she was gold digging.
Absolutely. And she told the guy as much. She was like, much to your disappointment, he brought me home. Or something like that. And I was just a waitress on a plane or something like that.
See, I thought all that was really good. A way to get in the exposition. After the first scene, I was really impressed with it, especially on the second watching, just how much you learn in that first scene about the story and the situation and the plot and her character and the relationship with the husband and all that.
Yeah,
it might be a little bit. Might be a little tighter writing.
Can be good.
A little bit
in the right ways.
But anyway, I'll give it a total score. I'll do that first of 3.69, bro. And I'm gonna give the first one 3.5 because like I said, I appreciate it much more the second time. And the second one, it's just there's something a little more special about it when you're zoned. It's the one I would want to rewatch more. Like if I'm gonna be in the mood for that one late at night, some substances up in me, and want to go to that dark spot more often than the first one, even though it had its issues too. If it wasn't for the end, like last night when I watched the second one, if it wasn't for the end, I was like, this is a 5, bro. I was like way way into the story and the atmosphere of it, and then the end. No matter what the point of it was, whether he was going to kill himself or whatever, the fact that none of us can properly read it,
it was goofy,
means it wasn't done right. Like I'm not sure what the fuck happened, and that shouldn't be the case, but. It was cool. It was definitely a really cool movie, and I'd watch it way more often if, like we all said, if this was an hour and a half, I'd pop it in once a year or so.
We got one already. It's called Creep Show.
Right.
But yeah, for sure, man. So What you said? How much for the second one?
4 and a 3.5, so
4 and a 3.5.
369
So
total.
right. Got
Oh
you.
yeah.
And it looks like my little bro Evan made it. He said 3.5 for both. Like the vibe for Romero's better, but really enjoyed both. Heck yeah, brother. So Robbie, my man. So what did you think for the theme and your rating on the movies, or on the stories, my man?
Well, you guys have already kind of nailed the theme stuff, right? The tale of comeuppance. You get what you deserve. You do something bad, karma's going to come back around, all that kind of stuff. However, if I wanted to dive deeper into both of them individually, the first one, the strange case facts of Voldemort's lonely cat, dog, snake, whatever the fuck, what I would call that one. I forgot like what Voldemort's pet was. Then I realized after saying cat and dog, it was a snake. So anyway, the first one, I would say, is obviously about greed, right? It's about greed, but it's also about love. And it's like, what's more important to you? Like material things, wealth, money, what somebody can provide you that way, or real love, right? Because they do have the idea that the doctor boyfriend is kind of like actually in it for her, right? And obviously the old dude's in it for her. You know, I mean, who wouldn't be, right? But like, she's only in both of these for what she can get out of both of these dudes, right? So there's that. In the second one, it is about a dude who has a mistrust and a fear of his woman and how he does not communicate with her, does not treat her right, and it falls apart and he becomes more and more paranoid. He's afraid that the chick he's with, Harvey Keitel's chick, is Adrienne Barbeau's character. He's not. But so I like that dichotomy that we actually get in both of these stories that I think is pretty cool. For both films, I would rate them 3.5 for a average of 3.5. I mean, I guess I could say I like the Black Cat one better, but I still love the Romero one just as much. So I love both of these. I love watching this movie. Could be, toned down a little bit. Like, I mean, and it could be edited down a little bit, right? But that being said, I love two of my favorite directors collaborating on something like this. I love that this movie exists. I am trying to be critical. It should be a 3, but I love me some Argento and Romero, and this is them together, so I'm going to give it a 3.5. Nah, scratch that. A 3.68.
What?
We didn't quite get there, but yeah.
Don't do that. I thought 2.269 is a stickler thing, man.
3.68, and I owe you one. So there you go.
Okay.
What was your rating, my bad?
3.68
for both.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Yeah, so y'all hit the nail on it with all the themes. I guess I would say, the first, it's kind of about, some gold digging tricks, trying to take their rich man's money, getting what they think they deserve after, like she says, being pranced around and shown off like a trophy.
Bruh, have you ever had a fucking 70-year-old man? Who knows what she earned? I'm just gonna say.
Right? I'm telling you.
Man.
Give her money.
This is before Viagra, right?
Like in Big Daddy, he's like, oh,
Hey, before Viagra, exactly. So it should have been easier, right?
She's got this shit. She had to tape his shit with popsicle sticks and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Like,
Splinters. Oh god.
From somebody who's closer to 70 than any of you fucking guys, I take offense to that comment.
To the only one of us with a Viagra.
Except for you.
I take offense to that.
I think
You
kind of
underestimate us 70 dudes, man.
I think towards the end though, once they figure out about like that he's kind of in that he's still or in this trance still after death, that the doctor's kind of like fascinated by like that there's life after death, if anything. But then I'd say the second story, let me see what would that one be about, in my opinion. Harvey Keitel just gives off major like Jack Nicholson vibes, like in The Shining, I'd say, when he's going ape shit. But let me see. That one I'm having trouble. The theme.
How about animal
Don't be
cruelty?
so paranoid. Oh yeah, don't. Bro.
Don't mess with animals, man. What's wrong with you?
I'm sure as soon as the thing's over, I'll think of something. But my rating would probably be for the first one, George Romero's. I'd probably give that one. Let's see. I go back to these and watch them every now and then. I do enjoy. I just love like the Masters of Horror, the anthologies like Creepshow.
Yeah, man.
This is the one I
Go for
kind of
it, man.
enjoy from time to time. I probably go 3 point today, like in a couple months I could say
3 point today.
a little bit
It's
more.
having a hard time.
No.
Today, tomorrow will
I
be
was
3
gonna say
points. By now.
3.69 for the first one, and then like 3.5 for the second one. Because I was saying today it could go back and forth. You
Right.
know, it's like your favorite song, man. It'll go back and forth. But this one, they're both so good to me. They're both very evenly, but they both have similar problems in each one. But I'd say the music is a lot better in the second one than the first one. But I think the first one is paced a little bit better than the
That's
second one.
that kind of throws me off that Robbie said the music was done by one dude.
I know, right?
I
don't know. It felt like different.
The directors have a major influence,
Right.
though,
Yeah.
on the use
Okay.
of music and,
Right,
and
where-
what tone they're going.
And like Robbie said, they both
Versatile.
have very different, music styles. Like if you just see Dawn of the Dead, Romero's cut, and then Argento's, which is like almost the same movie. There might be a scene or two that's different. I want to say, like there's like
Right.
a pie throwing scene in Romero's, and I don't think that's
Argento's is actually
like
shorter. Argento's is
It's
shorter by
shorter.
like 20 minutes, I think, almost.
Okay.
Ooh.
But yeah, it's like the music, man. It gives it, like Robbie said, it gives it a whole different vibe, man. And that's where you can kind of see. You're like, wow, this music does really have an effect on some movies. Some
Right.
not as
Oh,
much than others, but a lot of horror movies, the music is a big,
It's everything.
aesthetic. I mean, Friday the 13th, Halloween. Those are just,
Go watch the
they're
movie Gem Legend. for that.
iconic, man. Straight up, bro. So yeah, overall, I give the movie about a 3.5, I'd say. But I give it a little bit of an edge today for George Romero's, but they're both so good. And, like I said, I go back and forth. The one thing too, I think, is because I watched Fulci's Black Cat a few months ago on the Arrow release, and I would probably say I think that I like that better too than seeing Argento. So that might be why I kind of like have the little bit more of love for Romero.
So here's another thing: the Pino,
Creep Show.
the composer of this film, Pino, composed Fulci's Black Cat.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Argento's
There you
Black
go.
Cat. Like,
Is Fulci's also based on the Poe story?
I don't think so. Is
Well,
it?
Yeah,
in
I
name.
mean,
Okay.
Yeah, only man. No.
Okay, because I didn't know if it was like an hour and a half version of the hour movie that we all thought was too long. You know what I mean? So,
you'd have to. There's a lot of Black Cat adaptations. Like there's the hour version of Stuart Gordon's, and
well, another one of my favorites is the one that with Boris Karloff and Bela Lugosi.
Right.
The pre-code one was really
Yeah,
good.
I love that.
Bela Lugosi did
nothing to
two
do
of
with
them.
Yeah,
he
did he?
did two of them, yeah.
And yeah, it has nothing to do with the goddamn story at all. Most of them don't, right? Like I think the most accurate one is the Stuart Gordon one.
I think if nothing else tonight, if you get an interest in Poe, go back and rewatch those 60s Amicus, Vincent Price, Edgar
The
Allan
Corman
Poe
ones?
adaptations. Those are awesome.
Yeah, dude, like
Yeah.
Mask of the Red Death and those are
Pit and the
great.
Pendulum and
All of the House of Usher is a really good one, man.
there's so many of them that he did like 5 or 6 of them, and they're all great. Those
there
are well
was
worth
this well-respected man named Matt Groening that in the 90s
Yeah, his.
wasn't that Poe? Poe to the Raven?
The other thing I gotta say
Raven.
too, in the first movie, the thing that took me fucking right out of it is there's no fucking way somebody's gonna throw out all that frozen fucking food to put a fucking dead guy in a freezer. They had $300-400 worth of
If you're
chops
trying to
and
avoid
shit
the
like that.
cops, you sure would. What are you
How
doing?
bad do you
Everything.
want this money, Scarpad?
You got $4 million just sitting there. Come on. I can buy some new lean cuisines, man. I can buy some more Hot Pockets.
You know what I think holds this movie back from being an ultimate classic or on the level of a creep show of the things that we remember is that both movies don't go far enough in each director's style. I think it's both tame for both guys. Like Romero it gives you the feel of creep show, but it doesn't necessarily have those green lights, those red lights. You know, that stuff that he used in creep show that would, like when she's looking down the staircase, that would have been the perfect time to use one of those lights that don't make any sense.
Well,
Like,
that's
why
that's
is there a
not
red light down
typically
there?
that's not typically a Romero thing, though. He did that in Creepshow just to try to
But
mimic
The
the look of
comic
his
he
mom.
was
the
he was
EC
evoking
comic
it
book, right.
here, especially by bringing back all those actors. So why not lean into it anyway? You're leaning it halfway.
I guess.
And then
I just feel
The
the
other
movie
thing
was.
is, in 1990, that's not the aesthetic. Even Argento goes away from that. Like right after Suspiria, he does not do that again. Like Suspiria is the only movie he does that's
Well,
really kind
right.
of like that. A little bit
that's
of
what I'm
Inferno,
saying.
but
I would have probably liked more of his.
I'm just saying that's why I think the movie feels kind of pedestrian and feels kind of
Right.
like a TV.
That's
movie.
what I'm trying to say. If
Right.
they would have been more extra with whatever they're doing, it would stood out more.
Part of it is
That's
just
why it's ultimately forgettable. Because I saw this. Remember, I told you I saw this.
Yeah.
Now I know probably why I don't remember it.
both of them are just, honestly, I'm sure Robbie, you'd probably agree with you guys that know they're past their prime. This is them at the end of the road. They're not
That's-
young,
yeah,
and they're
they're
not
old.
trying,
They're a lot
throwing
older,
every
man.
trick
That's
at
true.
the.
Yeah.
they have both already. They're both already a little like at least 5 to 10 years beyond their best films.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, Romero's yet to make all those bad,
But I
Dawn of
don't.
the
I
Dead
think
sequels or
also
whatever, Survival of the
not
Dead
not only the past the prime part, but also it could be what Robbie mentioned on touched on earlier, the taming of horror movies. Period. Them cutting
Yep.
back on certain things. Maybe these guys.
I think both
give it
those
their all
guys would
for
have said
that.
"screw you" and did what they wanted to if they wanted to.
Yeah, but the financing behind the film wouldn't have.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Do you
That-
think there's
that was-
any?
That's a fact.
Do you think there's any aspect where there's like this respect for Poe and like the classiness of it, where they weren't trying to go too far in one?
maybe.
You know what I mean? Too
Well, I also-
But they
stylized.
both, they both
Thing
had
is-
one giant gory scene. Like she had the hand cutting scene, and he had the metronome scene. They got that
and
at
then they had the one where the
Yeah, the thing is, these movies are just inspired by Poe. They're not direct, so I don't think so. They're just
No,
inspired.
I think if anything, it's more of an influence on themselves. Like Argento influencing Romero, or Romero influencing Argento. But the one superstar that maintains pristine quality work is Tom Savini. Tom Savini's work in this is absolutely frickin' amazing, man. And yeah, I said frickin'. Because I was going to say frickin', and then I said
Yeah,
fuck
that
you.
cutting the hand scene looks really real. I mean,
It looked real, yeah.
really
It did look
real.
real.
And see, that's a scene that works so well because we can all imagine if that would like if somebody came at you with a knife, you're gonna put your hand out,
Mhm.
right? And like you just and like we don't know what it's like to be stabbed in the heart. Well, not literally, figuratively, I bet we all know what it's like to be stabbed in the heart. But we know what it's like to cut your hand. We've all done that, and shit like that. So like that shit like that gets me more than the metronome. But the metronome, that's badass. Like
Well,
that's so perfect, dude.
The best part of the second one for me, even though I didn't like it as much as the first, the best part of the second one is that as soon as he kills a cat, nobody leaves him alone. Now everybody's asking for the girlfriend. Everybody wants to know where the girlfriend. The phone won't stop ringing. Like every damn thing. He can't have a moment's peace with what he did. Like they just immediately, where's your wife? Where's your girlfriend? Where's it?
That's what I like.
Phone call,
lying.
phone call, phone
He's
call.
lying. Telling all that
It's
dumb
interesting
butt
movies.
on.
'Cause whose side are you on? Like they definitely put you on the side of the killer because you're paranoid he's going to get caught, and I always like that. But it's not really debatable. He's almost too much of an asshole, or not almost.
Yeah.
He's definitely too much of an asshole
He's definitely
for you to be on his side in the least bit. So
Now, did you think his wife was banging a student there? What kind of thing?
definitely,
Yeah.
I didn't catch that the first time.
Wasn't there like a
because I believe of neglect from him.
wasn't there like a post story where he like some dude kills some old dude he's taking care of and like buries him under the floorboards?
Yeah.
That's
And
the
he keeps
Telltale
hearing
Heart.
them.
Telltale Heart, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely part of this
They
story.
probably
for sure.
took a piece of that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what she puts in the wall. That's
That
That's in the
guilt.
original story, right? Where they buried like the cats in the wall, and they find they uncovered the murder because the cat's making sounds behind the wall.
I believe so.
Maybe it's just the
Oh,
same
wait a minute,
dude
or
wrote
was it
both
a
stories,
crow?
and there's
It was a
similarity.
crow.
Another thing that made him look crazy
A raven.
besides the animal abuse was him hanging her hair off of the damn fucking hook like she's an art piece and shit. Like I was like, whoa, he's
Yeah.
sick. Not only is he like, just a bastard, he's sick too.
Yeah. Well, he makes a living. He's the only one that can take artistic photos of dead
Still life.
bodies.
Still life.
He's an artiste.
And what did he have? He didn't
He
have a dead
specialized.
body in the car. That was just a mannequin, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I like that.
That was so
Hey.
goofy.
See, there's like one thing, like there's little bitty things in here
witnesses.
that like Argento touches. For whatever
That-
reason, the bit where Harvey Keitel pretends that he cut his foot when the neighbor comes over and he dabs his
Yeah.
foot in the blood. He's like, "Oh, I must have cut myself."
That's clever.
I liked that.
Yeah.
I don't know why I liked it.
Dude's thinking on his feet, man. Like he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
I didn't like.
I
the
didn't even
fat
realize he cut my foot.
hand-
There's like 3 gallons of blood on the fucking floor.
Yeah.
fat hand coming out of the garbage bag. That was kind of goofy.
See, that's
Oh,
okay,
he cut him.
Anna looked over at me and laughed
It
at
looked
that
like
part.
a
She's
damn
like, "Really?"
robotic hand. Like
That's what I kind of thought. I was like, really, bro? The cat's claws poking out the garbage
like
bag.
Wolverine. It's like the Wolverine of cat.
Well, it's all those little touches I thought really made. That's why I think the second one is so much better than the first one. I mean,
I think part of
Oh, yeah, I feel like
Italian
that kind of
cinema
stuff, sure.
is doing too much. That's what the
Yeah,
directors do.
that's what
Like
it
you could accuse them all of like this motherfucker's doing too much, but that's part of the fun.
Yeah, definitely. So we got what Steph gave it. What did you give it overall?
3.
3.
Yeah.
Fable gave it overall a 3. What was it?
Overall,
3.25? Overall.
overall, 3. Overall, 3.
3. Scarpad overall gave it a 2.75. 3?
Three.
Okay, 3. And then Verno overall gave it a what?
3.69.
3.69. Robbie gave it overall
3.68.
3.68. And then I gave it overall 3.5.
No, you
Oh.
gave
Should
it
have
a
done
3.
pause.
You gave it a 3 point today.
3 points today.
no,
I like
it's gonna be
that.
something
No,
totally
no,
different.
yeah. So overall, I'd say we got about a 3.269.
Yeah.
3 point today.
Today only, though.
That's a whole new bit.
Today only. Fuck
Today
you.
only.
Today only.
Tomorrow it's a whole new thing. So yeah, that will conclude the 2 Evil Eyes review for this week. Next week we start March Madness. Looks like I'm kicking it off with a movie produced by Eli Roth. I forget who directed it, but I know it's produced by Eli Roth.
Oh,
It's
shit.
a creepy clown. And see, I mean, Robbie had some like Italian movies in March Madness, since those always go like off the rails. But this movie is made by Americans, I believe, but it's like the movie's based
I've
in
never seen
Italy.
it.
I'm pretty sure.
Hmm.
Which Eli Roth has like ties to Italy. I think he was married to like an Italian chick or something. But
He's a huge
Clown.
Italian fan.
he's definitely a huge fan of Italian women for sure.
So,
Well, in
Is-
Italian movies.
is this a killer clown? Or?
I hope
Man,
so.
you'll have to watch it, bro. It's a good ass
It's about
movie.
a really
about
nice
like
clown.
like-
He just gives everybody balloons, and the movie ends, and
Yeah.
children are happy.
It's about like a
Sure.
father. Wait, he's saying my brother. You're saying he directed Clown, Evan? John Watts directed Clown?
Oh, no way.
Weird.
John Watts from Spider-Man?
I don't know what else he would be talking about.
When are we getting Evan on the show, man? We need Evan to come on.
Mhm.
Right?
It is directed by John Watts. Holy cow.
No way.
Yeah.
What?
Oh,
Clown
nice.
is-
Hell yeah.
It's free on Amazon Prime, by the way.
Oh,
And
sick.
Tubi.
Good call.
That's a hard one to get on Blu-ray, so I was worried, but I always watch it. Hell yeah.
His
That's a
nose
good
looks
throw
nice.
out. That's a good thing to know, man.
When did this come out?
Excited.
2014.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
But it's a creepy film, man. It's like only thing I can really say is it's about a guy who his son's birthday party is coming up, and the clown like somehow cancels, I believe, or something. I forget exactly. It's been a while since I watched it, but I just know that he has to go out and find a clown costume for his son's birthday party, and then things just don't go where.
Okay.
But,
Looking forward to
yeah,
this one.
It'll be a
Well-
fun one to watch.
To
Hell yeah.
clarify, it's free with ads on Amazon Prime.
freebie,
Wah,
freebie.
wah, wah.
You said Tubi too,
That's all
right?
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
So
all right.
yeah, next Saturday night, Clown. to kick off March
I know
Madness.
Scarphead owns this movie, so
I
oh
don't.
my bad.
oh,
Oh, you
No,
don't.
no.
Oh man.
threw
And
it
then,
out.
No, I don't have it. Never seen it.
Oh.
yeah, it's. I think it's harder to get on physical, so you're gonna have to. I have to look again on Amazon, but that
My
one.
collection skews pre-2000 for the most part.
I think your
But,
collection skews pre-1980 for the most part.
That's it.
You got this Monday on Scarpad's domain. You got Tom Cruise's Oblivion as well,
Nice.
and
Oh,
I believe
Oblivion.
Rockin'
Isn't
Robbie
that,
will be taking a break this week.
That's right.
That's the
No,
one they renamed? That's not the one they renamed, right?
no, they
No,
renamed
no.
Edge of
No.
Tomorrow, right? Is that what you're talking
Yeah.
about?
Right.
Tomorrow.
That was a
yeah,
comic
yeah.
book or something.
So,
Yeah, it's
So,
like a manga, right?
Oblivion.
Live, Die, Repeat.
Yeah.
or something?
the
Yep.
Oblivion review will take place Monday night at 7:45 p.m. Eastern.
And yes, we are off on PCP movie night for this week, but we will return for the second part of March Madness with Dario Argento's Tenebrae. Very excited for this.
Nice.
Can't wait
It's
to watch that.
it's a really good panel and it's a really good movie. It's outside of Suspiria. This is so tough for me to say, but as good as Profondo Rosso is, I think this, as good as Suspiria is, even as a theme, I think as a complete score, I think this is one of my favorite Goblin scores, is Tenebrae. So I love the hell out of this movie.
Hell yeah. Definitely great two movies to kick off March Madness. That's for sure.
Hells yeah.
And I think none of you have seen Clown before, so I'm excited.
I'm gonna watch that after
I'm
the
trying to
stream.
think of some movies that maybe not everyone has seen. I gotta try and start throwing some stuff I haven't seen. But yes, and then a week after Black Cat, Fulci's Black Cat
We should. That'd be fun to try and find one that nobody's seen.
Triangle. Yeah,
That's fucking hard to do with you guys though.
yeah. Fulci's going forward. It's possible though. And then
Yeah.
American Psycho to end it off on the horror show, and then the last movie of March Madness on Rockin' Robbie's Takashi Mike's Itchy the Killer.
Dude, why does that guy?
That's the
in
one
that
I want to
poster-
see.
Why does he
see
look?
The Killer?
He looks like Jordan Peele from one of like the Key and Peele skits in that. Like, I don't know why, but he does.
They were probably trying to make fun of this.
What's that last one? Itchy and Scratchy?
Itchy
Yeah.
the Killer, which is actually a Joker story done by Takashi Miike in a way. It's the Joker. Like, it's his interpretation
Very
of the
bad
Joker
day.
and Batman in that.
Hmm.
I mean, you saw that, right? Look at that. Like, oh, where'd it go?
So, anyone got anything for show and tell before we get out of here, fellas?
A couple.
I gotta head out. So if
Yeah.
you don't mind, I'd just like to do my quick show and tell.
Of course.
Hey,
of course.
Fable.
Before I head out.
Are we doing that on Thursday? I could promote that too.
Yeah,
X,
absolutely.
yeah. X on blood splatter chatter.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Me and Fable will be talking about it.
Live on Instagram.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
live on Instagram sometime Thursday night. Fable, he saw Pearl before he saw X, so it'll be interesting to get the perspective from him.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
So for my show and tell tonight, I got a AOK from our good brother Two Gun Pedro, man. So
Nice.
shout out to Two Gun Pedro. Thank you so much. He got me some cool stuff, guys. I think you guys are like. First, he wrote me a nice little note, of course. And this is a sweet note. I'm definitely going to keep. I keep all my notes in the pile or whatever. But he says, "You've always got us covered, so I've got your back." Too good.
Hell yeah.
So I love that. And so first, nice cool Deadpool sticker right here.
Nice.
That's going on one of these lovely boxes. And that's what I do.
Yeah, I love when Two Gun sends
All
me
over my
stickers.
Yep.
Are you gonna show us that comic under the? I know. Wasn't there a comic in the message of the back and board?
Oh no.
Oh my
I
God.
thought there was
Oh.
too, bro.
Okay.
Well, that house.
What's in the
that
back?
house? These comics that I'm gonna show you now.
Okay. Okay.
And so I love risque stuff. I don't know if anybody knows that about me. It might not seem that way sometimes, especially after I didn't like Burial Ground. You'd be like, "You like risque?" How's that possible? But I do. So he sent me a bunch of Harley Quinn covers.
Ooh.
And
Very
really
cheeky.
risque stuff.
I
Yeah,
love
love this.
Damn,
Absolutely love
I'm
this.
an ass man too, Two Gun.
I said, hey, you're an ass,
Here we
man.
go.
Okay.
Nice.
Is that Margot Robbie?
No.
I was gonna say.
It
All right.
looked like it. I thought that too. We need to get like some
Are those
smooth jazz
artists
playing here.
like?
I think, I think a few of them are real lady that's probably enhanced with
Okay.
graphics or something. But
Yeah.
here's another one.
That's badass.
Gorgeous, gorgeous. Love it. Absolutely love it.
Be better without the
Here's
bat.
another one.
There's one without the bat.
Bruh,
There you go.
where can you get that cover?
And the last one, I gotta kind of like cover it a little bit because they do show some
Oh.
nipplies.
Ooh.
Oh damn!
Oh.
This is an
Oh, where can
R-rated
you get
stream.
that?
You gotta leave. You can't show me behind.
Oh,
This
yeah,
is
I
not
can send
safe
you a
for
picture.
children.
Not safe, right? So I'm covering it up, but perfect for the horror show. We're sex
No, I mean you can
positive
show.
on
And
We're not. We're not
That's
changing the
W.
show, man. You can show.
God, you might have to cover her bottom too. That's a little low.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
There
telling
we
you. I'm telling you. And the
Send
last
us a
thing
pic in the private chat, please.
I will. I
Yeah.
will. And the last thing he sent me, which is probably my favorite thing of all the things he sent me, and it was these comics were actually wrapped in it. Is this cool horror show?
Nice.
Look at that the whole episode.
That is
Yeah.
dope.
And you showed that to me too. I didn't even think. I was gonna say to you. I was like,
The
like,
world's most dangerous group. You almost
Real
had
shit.
it, my friend. We just need Pinhead somewhere in there. We just need
Hmm.
No, he's
He
not
should
a
be
slasher,
back.
though. He's not a
He can be like the Zordon. Or like
I wouldn't
Yeah,
call
yeah,
Pinhead
He's
a
the
slasher.
Zordon of the
No, he's not a
slashers.
slasher. He's not a slasher. No,
Slashers.
but
We have a
I
problem.
absolutely love this shirt. This is my first horror shirt.
nice.
Thank you, Two Gun, for getting me my first horror show shirt. Love you, brother. Thank you so much, guys. This was great. I love revisiting this old movie. Can't wait for the next one. Clown, right? Clown.
Yep.
Can't wait for Clown. Hang out with you guys. Just another excuse to hang out with my horror show brothers, man. I love being here every Saturday night. And of course, Blaine Fable and his amazing friends returns a special time and date tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern on Instagram Live. Come join me, Nick, and Brother Joe as we have actual Dracula on the show, talking about the latest news for the past 5 weeks that we missed. So, all the trailers,
It's a
the
lot.
Flash, we'll be talking about all that crap. So come hang out with us tomorrow if you got some time. Instagram Live. Again, Blaine Fable and his amazing friends, 1 p.m. Eastern, IG Live. Guys, love you. Have a good night. See you tomorrow, guys. Stay safe.
Love you, brother. Have a good one.
That means that 3 of us tonight were wearing shirts sent by Two Gun Pedro.
Heyo.
Hey.
Dude, I was gonna wear that Church of Horror one that he sent me too, and I already had the Slim Shady one on, so I just put that one on.
Yeah, that's
But,
a horror shirt too.
Respect.
All right. Anyone got Link? You got show and tell?
No.
I got one thing. I got one thing.
Let's see. Oh, you did get some cool stuff.
I showed you guys this just because I wanted to in the horror chat, but I figured I show it off to the people. Sometimes it's tough to fully appreciate these things. That's why I
That
put some
stuff there
pictures
is
of it.
nice, man.
This is the sideshow. Obviously, Michael Myers, 1/6 scale. I'm pretty goddamn pleased with it, to be honest with you. And the deluxe
You've
one.
had that Jason one for a while, right?
Yeah,
So that was
dude,
cool to get.
Isn't it weird though? Like I set it next to the Jason. Now I like my Jason figure like 10 times more when Michael stands
Hell
next
yeah.
to him. But it comes with this, which is very
That's
high
cool.
quality. This is really
Sweet.
nice. I don't know the material, but it's got a
Oh.
little light,
Oh.
lights
That's
up,
nice.
little
Hell yeah.
shindig. Really like that. Shut it off. And again, I wish I knew the material, but it's like some kind of like, I don't know. Same thing with this. Judith Myers headstone. I'll tell you what, I never did the math, but she's 16 years old when she died. And
Wow.
we see her
Oh, I
tits at the
always
beginning of
thought
the
she was
movie.
a little
So.
older, like
Yeah.
18. at
Well, the
least.
actress wasn't 16,
I
right?
know, but still, that's
Yeah.
kind of fucked up. But that's what I got, man. One
It's in my head
more
canon.
time, just nice and close.
That's very nice, bro.
Yeah.
That thing is
I
detailed.
fucking love it.
Yeah,
How
it
come they
is.
can make better masks for the toys than they do in 90% of the Halloween movies?
Because they make more money off the toys than they do 90% of the Halloween movies. You know.
So, Robbie or Scarpad, who wants to go first? Robbie?
Sure,
I'll
I'll
go.
go first.
There you go.
I'll go first. All right. So I picked this up. I haven't bought a pop in a while, and usually I just buy horror-related pops or like sports-related ones. But I hadn't gotten this one yet. But it's Fred Flintstone with full of Fruity Pebbles.
Nice.
I got the Barney already with the Cocoa Pebbles. So like, why not? You know, sure.
It's a good
They
set.
started selling the cocaine bear pop today.
Hey,
I
Robbie,
finally-
you want
I
to explain this? Once you're done, you can explain this comment.
Oh, station. Well, it's from Bill and Ted, Bogus Journey in particular. Station means basically be excellent to each other and party on. And it's the way that we greet each other, say thank you. And it's kind of like the word aloha. So station just means be excellent.
Station.
Dracula, finally got my neck of Dracula.
Nice.
Haven't opened it up yet, but there it is. Excited to open that up on a Rockin' Robbie soon.
Heck yeah.
Cool poses. And I got a new shirt this week that I really like. I wore it on the wrap-up video, but you couldn't really see all of it.
Oh,
Nice.
Check that out.
Bloody ass.
yeah.
Bloody
That's
ass.
cool.
So that's what I got. A shirt, a toy, and a pop.
Dude, did you guys know this is probably old news that you guys know, but did you know after they did Freddy vs. Jason, the plan was to do Freddy vs. Jason versus Ash?
Yeah.
I think that's why those
Like
comic
a
books
comic
got
book.
made,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
Okay.
Okay. See,
Yeah.
It never
This is old
got. It
news.
never happened. So they ended up doing like a comic
Mhm.
book out of it,
Right.
like
Yep.
a dino. It was like Dynamite or
That would've been
maybe
good.
even something else.
Think of
It
Wild.
would've been
Wild.
over.
It would have been
It might have
badass.
been. Yeah.
Like, because he would have been able to add this different other guy that could talk and act. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a that could talk and be in the
He
real
was
world.
supposed to, I think, murk them both. I think he was
Yeah.
supposed to-
Fucking chainsaw.
I don't know if you remember this, but the Necronomicon is used in
Jason Goes to Hell.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh,
Dude,
yo, yeah.
The director like somehow got to use the real Necronomicon and like get it on set for that. Like it was like
Well, the reason why
big
that
favor
never
to get it.
happened is because of Universal Renaissance. The people that did the Army of the Dead and then the original movies, they were in a lawsuit. That's why those things they were owned by two different companies. And that's why it never happened. Fortunately.
You're
Did I
talking
swear-
about how Evil Dead 1 and 2 are the rights are held by somebody different because Universal has Army of Darkness.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
If
I
you want to
think
feel
that's
like
why I think they were filming Army of Darkness
Mhm.
when maybe Jason Goes to Hell was got around the same time. I want to say I could be wrong.
All right, so I have the spirit animal where through Verno, non-evil version. Of course, I'm talking about the inspiration, the man, the myth, the legend, the Shatner came in. My Admiral Kirk came in this week. There
this
he
is fucking gorgeous figure, man. I wish you could see the
I
face
like
a
that
little
suit.
better.
Yeah, the face is, I think, pretty good. It's hard to get him when he's old, but they did spot on in that toupee, though. That's definitely the big ass raccoon toupee that Shatner wore in the first movie. So spot on, man. But they did a nice job. And this is the box for it. Here.
Oh, that's badass.
Their boxes are really good. They come with a magnetic seal and everything. So it's
Oh, wow.
How close to the picture on the front of the box does the figure actually look? Because the picture that
Looks
I've
pretty
seen
good.
looks really fucking good.
Yeah.
pretty close. I mean, it's all how
That's
you
not
shoot
bad.
them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, I think Shatner's a hard one to get, and that's why he's got a Jason mask because he's a hard one to do. I also got the new Dracula came in today. This is the black and white one. I love that box
Black
art,
and White's already out.
and that is where they changed
Oh,
him. They
nice.
gave him the top hat, and they
That's
changed the
dope.
coat and gave him a staff to stand on. So that's the latest black and white one.
Coat.
Yeah, coat's similar. I mean, I think they want to do this because now they want to give people a reason to buy other than just the black and white.
They probably saw the sales, right? Like
Right.
on the Mummy and the Wolfman and Frankenstein.
What
So
sells
that's
better
the
in
back
your
of it.
store, Robbie? The colored or the black and white?
The color version.
Really? See,
But I
thought
love that. I love
colored
that box
was
art.
better.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
That's fire.
That is an awesome cover.
So that came
I didn't
in.
even know that.
Picked up this week. I picked up the complete series of Deadwood.
One
Well,
of
he's
my
sta-
favorite shows of all time.
Oh, he's starting to go through Justified. So when that's over with, I'm going to watch Deadwood again. I love fucking Deadwood.
I love that shit. Does that have the movie?
This does not have the movie. It's an older set, but the movie's available. I got the movie too.
Word.
And the movie's really good too.
It is. I
haven't watched
think
it.
it's one of the best shows ever done, man.
This came out this week, the 4K version of Dario Argento. Phenomena.
Nice.
So I've never seen this. I think I saw bits of Creepers, but I've never seen the original. So I'll ask you guys, what should I watch on this? The Italian, the International or the Creepers? I'm not gonna watch the Creepers. I'll watch Italian or International. What do you think?
Italian.
Italian.
Yeah.
All right.
I think the Creepers is probably the same thing as the Italian. It's just
Creepers
a
is the
different-
same thing. It's a slightly
it's just a
different cut.
different-
And it's a little bit
Title.
shorter, I think.
Yeah,
And of course,
oh, it
by,
is.
yeah. So that came out. Jennifer Connelly, man.
See, I don't know if my Blu-ray has all those
Right.
different.
If I remember
versions.
right, Creepers was the U.S.
Was a U.S.
initial
version.
release,
Right.
right? Yeah.
Then this isn't the biggest. I'm not a biggest fan of this movie. I like this movie, but I always kind of disliked it that the two stars in the movie really never have a scene together. But I picked it up anyways. It was like $6, the 4K version of Heat, and look at that gorgeous slip cover.
Fuck yeah, dude.
What an awesome slip cover. Sorry,
That was $6.
sorry, Dylan.
What? Yeah, you got the fucking slip.
Dylan got it this week too, but didn't get the slip.
Oh,
It's all dumb.
seriously? That's horseshit.
Yep.
And Dylan works for the company, so
Dude,
It's because they know that Dylan will just keep sending it fucking back until he gets it.
yeah.
there's two movies.
Yeah, well, they fucked up. They should have just given me the slip.
Dylan was ranting to this about me for 3 days, man. He was really
I was more.
he was in a
pissed
bad
about
place.
Beyond.
That and the Front Beyond in the same week threw him over the edge.
There's two movies we used to rent when we were kids and never watched. It was New Jack City for whatever reason, and Heat.
Oh,
We-
both
we
are
were-
live you digs all day long.
Yeah,
that's what I hear, man. I've never watched it.
No, I
Probably
know.
do.
Have you
As a
never
kid,
seen
you're
New
not gonna
Jack-
like
You've
one.
never seen New Jack City?
I think
New
I
Jack
did
City's a
watch
good
New
movie,
Jack
too.
City for sure. Yeah.
This movie, the Blu-ray, I think is going to go out of stock because on Amazon the Blu-ray of this was like $60. Yet I got this for like $10 or $15 for Overlord.
Nice.
Oh,
And
nice.
since that new movie's coming out, I figured I'd pick that up in 4K.
Cool movie.
Unfortunately, no
Yeah,
slip.
yeah.
This I got from one of my favorite schlock directors, Fred Olen Ray, Evil Spawn. Really good.
Looks good.
Oh,
Looks
basically,
really good.
basically boobs, and a bug monster. You can't get better than that, I tell you.
I don't know,
Yeah,
man. Coming from you, it could be pretty bad.
And then Days of Confusion 4K. This is one of my
Oh, that's a
favorite
dope
movies
case.
of all time. I would say this is in my top 5. I love
Movies
this
Have
movie.
you guys ever seen
And,
Boyhood by Richard
I have not
Linklater?
seen that
Still
yet, but I
haven't
want to
watched
watch it.
Yeah,
That's a
And
good
this
one.
is like the trouble is this is like the exact same version as the Blu-ray one, except 4K Criterion. You know.
that's one of my favorite movies as well, man.
Me
And
too.
then this came out this week. Really another poor effort by Shout Factory, who I think their 4K is going down the toilet. They suck. And I even got this with no slip. Is the Slumber Party Massacre Part 1 and 2, and they just don't put much effort in their 4K releases. And I think I would have bought this if I didn't. I don't think I have Part 2 on disc, so
That's
I
the
figured
only reason it's worth it is for part 2.
Mm.
why
If
not?
you-
Why not pick it up?
4K
That's why I'm
disc for
thinking about
part
getting
2 and a single Blu-ray disc for part 2.
Yeah, I want to get it because I still do want the Blu-ray set of 2 and 3 because
And this has a new 4K scan. It also has the
I wonder
original
if that will.
76-minute R-rated version and the extended 85-minute unrated
Yeah.
cut.
Didn't it just come out? Like, why wouldn't it have the slip?
I don't know. Well, Amazon, I just did come out. I didn't-
It just has no
if you don't
slip.
buy the movie
No,
directly
it doesn't
from-
have a slip.
Right.
It doesn't have a slip. That's why. Just period.
well, it
Nah,
never
yeah.
had a slip. Like the originals
Yeah.
didn't have a slip.
Yeah.
right?
It just the 4K releases, they just go kind of cheap on them. And
It should have been 2 and 3 though,
I'm
man.
not-
It should have been 1, 2, and 3. Let's be honest.
Or
I mean,
that, yeah. But
when
for
you look
some
at the
reason, I
shit,
think for
when you look
me,
at the
it's
shit
like
that
under different
Arrow
rights.
and Kino Lorber is putting out now, Shout Factory's in the rearview mirror. So
Yeah.
It's kind of getting there, right? But I will say it's
mean-
nice to at least be able to have it physically, have part 2 because that's the best
Right.
one out of the 3.
Yeah.
right.
Really?
I still want to get 3. I still want to get 3 though, so we can review 3 one day.
You guys
Review-
rock and roll killer
One
guitar,
and two.
man.
If anybody's curious, there is somebody on YouTube who
That's
has
it.
part 3 out there. So you can
Oh,
watch it on
mm.
YouTube, but it's not, I don't know when it's going to get pulled down. But the reason why 3 is not available physically is because of a rights issue or something.
I only got 2 things, and Scarpad already showed them. Like
So you
he
got
said,
Heat without a slip.
I showed him this with $6, and I get no slip. Fuck you, Amazon. I'm getting these sales, and this is the thanks I get.
I almost bought it too.
And he doesn't even like the movie. He
I
doesn't
like
even
it.
Okay, you might as well just send the slip
love
if you
it.
don't
I
like
like
a movie
it.
like that.
He
I think
doesn't
I'm
even
gonna sell
like it
this
all
to-
like that. He said it was just because it was literally $6 for a 4K.
It's the dude that did
Chris
Manhunter, right?
Niro,
Yeah, it's
De
yeah,
Niro
it's
came
Michael
from
Mann. It's a good
Kilmer.
movie. And
Collateral.
Val Kilmer's good in it. The
But yeah, he
performances are
said he's
great in
like
it.
not that big of a fan of it.
I just
And
kind of
then
wish that
I
the
got
two stars
some-
were in it together. Not
Then I got one in Slumber Party 1 and 2. Which
What, no slip?
only- No slip, I
they don't
told
make
you.
it. No slip.
I told you they just didn't make it. But the one good thing is Robbie could pick this setup because it does come with 1 and 2 on their own separate Blu-rays.
Oh, that's dope.
They
I thought it
put
was
the
all in one disc.
4K. They put the 4K on.
double feature?
They put
Wow.
2 movies on one 4K disc. Which
Well,
is
because a
kinda
4K,
weird.
4K
Kinda
disc can
weird.
hold 100 gigabytes, so
Oh,
that's
that-
a lot of room
okay.
on it.
Those
Well, I'm
movies
sure
are
they're
like
on-
those movies are like 75 minutes. You know.
Yeah, so they say 77 and 76, but the unrated cut
It's
on the
85.
Blu-ray is 85 minutes. It's an extended unrated cut. So,
Oh, the first one.
that's a good reason to check out, to definitely pick it up, Robbie, because then you
Oh,
get
so,
Slumber
and that's what I
Party
hate
No,
too.
this is
My
second.
and you get a
third.
new extended cut of it. That
Yeah,
I don't
my
think
pet-
is on
Wait,
that.
wait. Hold on.
yeah,
Extended cut of which one?
2.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
85 minutes.
on the Blu-ray.
God.
I said
So it's not on the 4K. So you get to watch the regular and the extended cut on the Blu-ray.
yeah, because I'm
And
sure
they did
the,
it right because that 2 and 3 version, you probably would have got 2 and 3 on one disc. They did. They gave.
Right.
Have you
Yeah.
watched it yet?
It's pretty nice.
Have you watched it? Because like, is there more Driller Killer? Because that
I haven't
dude's
got,
awesome.
I just got it yesterday. I'll let you know though. I'll let you know.
So
If you already,
By the way, the Driller Killer in that fucking movie is the son of the dude who owns like the Detroit Tigers and
Oh, wow.
Little Caesars and all that shit. He actually
No
quit
shit.
acting in his music career to work in the family business.
Yeah. It's
Wow.
almost 10 extra minutes. It's almost
Hey,
10 extra minutes.
what
Bruno,
are-
have you seen part 2
and
yet?
85.
no, that's what I was gonna say. You
Oh,
might have said it,
I
and
haven't
I
seen
didn't
any.
fucking hear it. What are the special features? Are there good special features? Is it worth it? Because I'm getting sick of buying shit and expecting some special features and having 10 minutes worth of shit.
I know. I hate that shit. I haven't
they're
watched.
not,
the
they're
special-
not the
If
best.
you're gonna get special features,
okay.
normally it's on these boutique label. Those are the ones that take advantage, that do the special features.
Right? Is there at least some
Like-
commentaries?
There's a
Yes.
commentary on this. and
There is
there's,
a documentary revisiting Slumber Party Massacre, so
Yeah.
that's not bad.
there's commentaries on both of them and making
Yeah.
of the first one, and like you said, revisiting the second one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, y'all, I can't tell you how much I love Slumber Party Massacre 2. It's one of my favorite movies. And thank you, Dylan. This is one of my favorite things about this show we're doing, DHS, is that was the first time I watched Slumber Party Massacre 2.
yeah,
That's one of my favorite fucking movies. I love that stupid ass movie so
Keep
much.
hearing about 2. I
It's
still have to
not
watch.
good.
yeah, that
Don't think I'm telling you it's a good movie.
Is it fun?
it's so good. It's so bad. It's so good.
It's
Alright.
it's ridiculously terrible. Like, but I love
Is it-
Dude has a driller guitar. Like he's jamming out, and then he's just drilling bitches.
There's musical scenes.
literally.
Now,
Like the chicks are all in this band. It's got the chick from Psycho 3.
how does that
yeah.
drill
and
guitar
Fighting
work? Does it
Five.
have to be plugged into something, or can he just like run it?
Nah, bro, he's
Battery.
running
This
around.
Driller
Battery.
Killer
Not the
is
point.
supernatural, unlike the
Oh.
other one. This one is like a Freddy Krueger type,
Oh,
where
no
he's
yeah.
shit.
infected the. All right, Verno, you've seen the first one.
Yeah.
The little sister. This is her movie. She's grown up a little bit. Her sister's in a mental institution. She's trying to go out and have fun. She's part of a band, right? So they're going to like have a slumber party and do band practice. And she has this like dream vision of this dude with like a fucking guitar and a drill, and he winds up coming into real life. Or he doesn't. I don't fucking know. It may all be in her head. You don't actually know. It makes no sense, but it's great. And then Joe Bob did a really great presentation on it for Joe Bob's
Yep.
Drive.
Just from the cover alone, you could tell it's like it went off the rails. Like they went insane with the. You know what I mean?
There's a reason why I got a Slumber Party Massacre 2 t-shirt. Like I just don't buy any t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? Well, I do sometimes. But anyway, I love the fuck out of that movie.
Hell yeah.
Less nudity than the first one. I'll warn you there,
That's
but
a bummer.
it's good.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that'll do it for this week. Before we get out of here, if you're just coming in, like we said, next Saturday, we're kicking off March Madness with John Watts's Clown, produced by Eli Roth. And
Jeez.
yeah, so that should be a fun time, a first time watch for everybody except for me. I've seen it before, but if you're a John Watts guy who did the Spider-Man Homecoming and all those MCU movies, yeah, definitely worth giving it a shot. I mean, John Watts doing horror, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's definitely worth a watch. And then this upcoming Monday on Scarpad's Domains, Scarpad will be reviewing Tom Cruise's Oblivion at 7:45 p.m. Eastern. And Rockin' Robbie will be taking a break this Monday, but coming back strong next Monday with Dario Argento's Tenebrae to kick off March Madness on PCP.
Nice.
So that'll be at 9 p.m. Eastern, so you won't want to miss that. But we'll definitely give you another reminder about it next Saturday before his stream. So yeah.
And for those that don't know, March Madness is like a mini horror fest. Me and Dylan like to collaborate on our lists, and we give you 4 weeks of 8 shows about 8 fucking awesome, maddening horror films.
Which I've been working on my horror fest list too, man. So I'm super fucking pumped. I've been working out like almost the whole year, bro. Like, but I'm trying to leave some space for in case, like, you know, like when Scream 6 comes out, I kind of want to review that with you guys.
That's like in 2 weeks, Dylan.
I know. But, you know, maybe we'll have to do like a side one for that.
Dude, I'm down.
Dylan's horror side chick.
Yeah. Yeah. Dylan's horror sideshow.
Yeah, we got to talk about
yeah, though, Dylan's horror sideshow.
That's nice.
That's a good title.
Okay.
Nice pop up. Yeah.
HSS.
Yeah. But yeah, that's definitely one we're gonna have to talk about. I'm so excited for Scream 6, man.
I'd be down for that, y'all.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I wonder, is anyone gonna actually see it in 3D? I don't think so.
No, it's not shot for 3D. That's ridiculous. It's like an after conversion. That's bullshit.
Yeah, that's I don't really understand what they're doing.
If you go and watch Scream 3 or any movie that's not intended, like Avatar or something, if it's not shot for 3D and you go watch it in 3D, you don't know cinema.
It's just left field.
Yeah, I just said fuck Avatar. I'm going to see Scream in 3D.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah,
I know that shit's gonna be fucking wild.
I am very excited to go check it out, no doubt.
Yeah.
But yeah, so go. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Oh, and before I forget, next Friday night, we should be doing at 7:30 p.m. Eastern another Twilight Zone episode 21 to 24, I think, or episode 20 to 24.
We're halfway through the season.
Yeah, halfway through the season.
Wow.
Pushing along, so come check us out.
Me and Fable are talking X on my
Thursday.
IG on Thursday. Yep. I keep forgetting, dude. I got thrown off because it's like, oh, February is so short. I'm like, I've got a while. I'm like, oh shit, no, that's coming up. So yeah, Thursdays, blood splatter chatter. Me and Fable talking X.
Crazy in March, bro.
Right.
Check it out on IG. All right, so I hope y'all have a great rest of your weekend, man. And everyone stay safe. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you all in chat.